What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 159, and we start today's episode off with a game against Inter Milan here in the Champions League. So we've won our opening 2 games. We're now looking to make it 3 wins out of 3. We take on Inter Milan, arguably the strongest side in the group after us, obviously. We take on Inter Milan though, and they've got a very decent side, but Spurs have had their runnings with Inter Milan in the past few years, and of course Gareth Bale has enjoyed playing against Inter Milan very many times, and especially against Maicon. So thankfully for Inter Milan, they would not have the Brazilian defender in this game, but we do take on Inter Milan. I was feeling very confident, to be honest, and like I said, Bale has enjoyed playing against Inter Milan in previous years. Of course, that hat-trick he scored at the San Siro was a memorable one for him, but even so, we're at White Hart Lane for this game, and I was really hopeful that Bale would be involved because he would start, and we did have quite a few changes to the team, of course, because this was a midweek game, and of course my players do seem to run out of stamina a lot quicker than most people's, but even so, it's Inter Milan who would have the first chance of the game anyway. Muriel got played forward here, but it was a really good stop by Courtois. So in the opening couple of minutes, Inter Milan almost taking the lead, but the number 9 shot was well saved by Courtois. But from the corner, he tries his luck with his head this time, not with his feet. He heads the ball across Courtois' body, but again, it's another really good save by the Belgian, and it's still 0-0. So Inter Milan stating their intentions early on. They wanted to come here and win this game, not just get a draw, and they almost had the lead in this game. But in the 32nd minute, a good chance for us. Bale goes down the right-hand side, takes on Oscar, beats him with the Ronaldo chop, gets onto his left foot with the heel-to-heel flick and strikes it, but unfortunately Handanovic makes the save. So definitely Bale was looking to score against Inter Milan here, a familiar feeling for him, but still 0-0. In the 41st minute though, a good chance for Inter once again. Oscar, the former Chelsea man, rolls it off to Laxalt. He shoots, but it comes to Matej Vidra, and for us, we got very lucky because it strikes Leo Chambers. Courtois is on the floor, but thankfully it just goes wide of the post, so still 0-0. But from the corner, it is the number 29 who crosses the ball in towards Muriel once again. It's headed away, but it falls to Christian Eriksen. We go on a break here. Eriksen finds Daniel Sturridge, who gets past gets past Kaya, down the right-hand side. Really good chance of Sturridge. Keeps on going, he goes onto his right foot here, tries to fizz the ball across the face of goal. It's headed away, only as far as Andros Townsend. He strikes on the half volley, it's blocked, then Sturridge goes for the header, but unfortunately Handanovic makes the save, and Anderson's shot is well saved, but it turns out Anderson was offside anyway, so it would not have counted had he found the back of the net. But still 0-0 in this game, with both goalkeepers playing very well as things stood, so still 0-0. Just in stoppage time in the first half though, Matej Vidra gets on the ball and finds Laxalt down the right hand side, who keeps on going, chips the ball into the centre. Pizzi wins the header, but it's a really good stop by Courtois, and it's still 0-0. So it was a battle of the goalkeepers in this game here, both keepers playing very well, and in the 56th minute we get the ball with Courtois and roll it out wide towards Steven Corker. Lets the ball run through his legs before finding Andros Townsend. Townsend finds John Johannesson, gets past Dragovic with a really nice scoop turn, keeps on going down the left hand side, ends up swinging in across towards the far post. Daniel Sturridge wins the header, but it's quite a simple save for Handanovic this one, and it's still 0-0. But in the 67th minute here, John Johannesson wins the ball off Jonathan. Really nice challenge. He plays a 1-2 with Glenn Robinson, then a nice little fake Rabon, and then a reverse step over to beat Dragovic. Tries to get around his man with a bell spin, gets a little bit lucky, but he strikes it regardless. Great save by the goalkeeper. Then Bale's shot hits the post, and unfortunately Eriksen is then ruled out for offside. So pressure from both sides, but neither side could hit the back of the net, so it was really frustrating. You know, both goalkeepers were playing very well, and neither of the strikers or any of the attacking players in this game were getting a luck. It was still 0-0, but in the 70th minute here, Sumara wins this header, and it falls to Glenn Robinson. He finds Andros Townsend. Townsend gets past him out with a drag back, finds Robinson here down the left hand side. Really good chance. He double step overs around his man, chips it into the path of Townsend. Wonderful first touch, but it's an even more wonderful finish. Brilliant finish there by Townsend. Finds the bottom corner with 19 minutes to go. Fantastic strike by Townsend, and finally Handanovic is beaten. He's a goalkeeper I struggle against so often on our Ultimate Team, and clearly I was struggling against him here on Career Mode as well, but that was a brilliant finish by Townsend. Nothing Handanovic could do, and it is Spurs 1, Inter Milan 0. And in the 73rd minute though, Inter Milan did get themselves a goal. A lovely little back heel found Alvarez, and he finessed it past Courtois into the bottom corner. So 16 minutes to go, Inter Milan got themselves a goal back in this game, and they are on level terms, so they quickly managed to equal the score here, 1-1. A few minutes after that though, John Joe Anderson gets on the ball, plays it out wide towards Tom Carroll. Carroll plays a 1-2 with Danny Welbeck. Really nicely done. Carroll finds Nelson Oliveira, but his bicycle kick goes into the stand. So great chance for the Portuguese striker, but still one apiece. But in the 84th minute, Inter Milan come forward once again. It's played into the centre, but it's cleared away, or I thought it was cleared away. Chambers made a great challenge, but the referee said it was a free kick. I didn't think so, but Sigurdsson stood over it. He crossed the ball in. Alvarez's header was well saved by Courtois, but Rakitic's header wasn't. It found the back of the net, and it was Spurs 1, Inter Inter Milan 2, and you can bet your last dollar that I was going to go ahead and complain to the fourth official after that goal. That was never a free kick, but it was given, and from that, Inter Milan were in front in this game. In the 90th minute, the last chance would fall to us. Townsend fizzed in a cross, but Nelson Oliveira's header was simply saved by Handanovic. And he also stayed down, the Portuguese striker, and would stay down until the final whistle. But the game would finish 2-1, and I was absolutely furious. Believe me, I was on the touchline. I was right in the fourth official's ear. I was absolutely livid because there is no way that was a free kick. You can go back and watch it as many times as you want. Chambers won the ball fairly, and that was a great challenge in my opinion. But the referee gave a free kick, and from that, Inter Milan scored what would be the winner, and that is how the game finished. So Spurs 1, Inter Milan 2. We lose at home for the first time this season. That is not a good feeling whatsoever. And once again, the board counter doesn't say about the last match. It was not what we wanted to see in defeat, and we are concerned it may negatively affect the squad. And they're basically raising their concerns big time. That's twice they've came to us and given us a warning email. So that is not good news for us at all. And I really am beginning to get a bit hot under the collar. I definitely feel as though if we continue to have a few more poor results like that one in the space of another couple of months, we could well be getting the sack. Because with the money Daniel Levy has invested in this club and given me to spend, if we don't get those results in the big games, we really could be facing the sack. So we came into this game against Liverpool knowing that if we had 2 defeats in a row, you know, the getting sacked in the morning chant could be applied by the away fans, definitely, legitimately, because I felt very cautious coming into this game. That's why I picked the strongest side possible. Even though there were a couple of players that had some fitness problems, I definitely felt as though we needed to get a win in this game, because like I said, getting a defeat really could be very, very fearful for us as our position as manager here at Spurs. But the first chance would fall in the 7th minute regardless. We tried to make amends after the midweek disappointment, and it was cleared away only as far as Lamela, who struck on the half volley, but his shot was blocked and went out for a corner. So Sirigu, the goalkeeper, was very lucky there. It almost found the back of the net, but it didn't. It was still 0-0, but from the corner, Eriksson crosses the ball in towards the head of Fabian Schär, and it is headed off the line. So unfortunate, but from that we give the ball to Eric Lamela here. Lamela curls the ball. It's a wonderful strike, but it hits the post, and Sturridge follows up the rebound, but unfortunately it's chalked off for offside. So that is a real shame there. I thought we were going to take the lead, but unfortunately Sturridge's left leg was indeed in an offside position. So still 0-0 as things stood, but in the 35th minute, nice little touch by Draxler and a great ball over the top found Daniel Sturridge. He beat the Portuguese centre-half Ilari, ball down one-on-one, and found the back of the net. So Sturridge scores against his former club, makes it Spurs 1, Liverpool 0, with just under 10 minutes to go before half-time, and that relieves the tension here at White Hart Lane as we take the lead in the first half. In the 42nd minute, a good chance for Liverpool to equalise here. Sterling finds the Brazilian holding midfielder Lucas Leiva. He plays a great ball over the top towards Luis Alberto, and he plays a 1-2 with the post before diving headering the ball into the back of the net. So I don't think it was intentional by the Spanish man, but even so, it looked very nice indeed, didn't it? Luis Alberto played forward, and it just looked like he meant it, you know, because he didn't like hesitate or anything. He just knew exactly what he was doing there. He sort of like follows up the run, do you know what I mean? Really, really good work by Luis Alberto. We'll say it was intentional because it would look really nice even for the AI to score it. He finesses the ball onto the post, then dives over Courtois and diving headers the ball into the empty net. So Spurs 1, Liverpool 1 here at White Hart Lane. We win a corner in the 45th minute here. We didn't want to go down the tunnel at half-time level, and thankfully we wouldn't, because Simare scores his first goal for the club. Really good header from Christian Eriksen's corner, wins it in the air and finds the back of the net. I'm not sure he's got off to the best start of his as a Spurs player here. I'm not sure he's got off to the best start really. He's been, you know, relatively average to be honest when you consider the fact we spent £10 million plus Kirikes for him. But even so, as an 87 rated centre half, you're not going to say no to that deal. And that was a good header, and he scores his first goal for the club. So Spurs 2, Liverpool 1. But directly from kick-off, Luis Alberto, the goal scorer, gives it to Raheem Sterling. Sterling beats Julian Draxler here and finds Lucas Leiva, and Leiva gets onto the ball, finds Ramiro Pastor. He gets onto the ball with the ball roll, plays it back to Raheem Sterling. He finds Jordan Henderson. Nice little 1-2 between the pair. They keep holding the ball. Ramiro Pastor plays it back to Sterling, ends up swinging in a cross here. Suso goes for it at the far post, controls it really well, finds Radicevic, but he puts the shot wide. So Liverpool so close to getting themselves back on level terms, pretty much straight from kickoff. The possession they played in this game was fantastic. I just couldn't get the ball off Brendan Rodgers' men. They were passing the ball around so exquisitely, and it was still Spurs 2, Liverpool 1. But we did have the lead at half time, so the tension was a little bit, you know, quite, I wouldn't say it wasn't raised anymore, but even so it was beginning to get a little bit fearful, because I knew Liverpool would hit us back in the second half and try and get themselves a goal, and they had the first chance to do that in the 51st minute. Sterling got onto the ball down the left hand side here, but his shot was quite simply saved by Courtois. So still 2-1. But Liverpool did want to make sure they would get themselves an equalising goal eventually. But in the 53rd minute, Radicevic loses out to Courtois here. Good piece of goalkeeping. Cher gets onto the ball and finds Lamela. Lamela plays a great free ball to Christian Eriksen. Nice little Ronaldo chop here. Gets a bit lucky as it falls back to him, but even so, he plays a superb crossfield ball towards Gareth Bale. What a ball it was by Eriksen. He flicks the ball over his head. Bale crosses the ball in on the volley, finds Draxler, but it's a great stop by Sirigu. So that would have been an absolutely lovely goal, but it falls to Chalobah, then Eriksen. Eriksen lets fly from range, but it just goes wide of the post. So we were putting the pressure on Liverpool. We were trying to score that third goal. Both teams were looking very, very threatening every time they went on the attack, but still 2-1 in this game. But in the 76th minute here, Bale beats Coutinho. He gets onto the ball, but it falls to Nathaniel Chalobah instead. Townsend and Bale link up really nicely here. Nice little 1-2 between the pair. Eventually the ball comes to Gareth Bale down the left-hand side. He swings it across, picks out Sturridge, and what a volley it is by Daniel Sturridge. It's his second goal of the game against his former club, and it Spurs 3, Liverpool 1, and all the tension that was on this game was finally off now. There was relief at White Hart Lane. We had ourselves a 2-goal cushion, and it was a lovely cross by Bale and a lovely volley by Sturridge. I have to say, Sirigu maybe a little bit disappointed he didn't get a hand to it, because the volley wasn't struck with too much power, and it was quite central as well. So I think that Sirigu probably should have got a hand to the ball, but he didn't, and Sturridge gets his second goal of the game, and that's all you need to know. So Spurs 3, Liverpool 1, and as things stood, the 3 points were going to be ours in a very, very big game here in the title contender clash, an early season title contender clash, I should say. But from kickoff, Liverpool try to hit back and try and get themselves back in the game here. It's Lucas Leiva who gets onto the ball, finds Ramiro Pastor, gets onto his right foot, finds Luis Alberto, gets past his man, but he chips the ball straight at Courtois. And I don't know why Courtois didn't catch that ball, but even so, tips the ball over the bar, and it's still 3-1. But in injury time here, the game was being closed out. It looked as though we'd done our job. We just wanted to get ourselves a 4th goal and make things even nicer, and we had a good chance to do that as Townsend goes down the left-hand side here. Towns beats Suso, finds Nathaniel Chalobah, gets past his man, lovely little double step over, shoots, hits the bar, but it falls to Gareth Bale, and Bale makes it 4-1. So Bale, who didn't score too many goals since we first signed him, has now sort of came into the goals, now seems to be scoring in every single game. Really good finish by Gareth Bale, and it's Spurs 4, Liverpool 1. So good finish by Bale, very nice header by the Welshman, and we complete a very, very big win. And after the disappointment of losing to Inter Milan in midweek, the board were very, very, very angry with us. Like I said, we were fearing for our job. If we came into this game and lost it, we could have been getting the sack, but instead we win this game emphatically by 4-1, and that is just a big statement to the board, as if to say, you've had our doubts, but don't worry about it. You know, we're in this boat together. You should keep us in charge, and we will deliver the league title come the end of the season if you give us the time. So a 4-1 victory against our title rivals, and that is a very, very big win for us, and a very good way to respond to that midweek disappointment against Inter Milan. But as always, guys, big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed having 4 episodes of career mode this weekend, please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of career mode tomorrow afternoon.